Hey, we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Night Audit. I'm your host, Chaze Barnes. What up? What up? What up? Happy Friday Eve. Friday for most by the time you all are watching this video. Couple housekeeping things. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. You have not subscribed, you do so. Turn on your notifications. I drop episodes five days a week for you all. We're over here. We cover some of the top big stories around the country, whether it's local, national, international, interstellar. We ain't got there yet. We audit life before life audits it for you. So we break it all down, try to break it down at a microcosm that you can understand it. And at times we cut loose. But anyway, I got 4 stories to cover for you all tonight. Okay, we got to talk about a Love and Hip Hop star, S1E Star, arrested. This hit my timeline, hit my feed. I was just like, what the hell's going on? But I did a little digging on it. Okay, I'm a little disturbed by it. Also, we got to talk about a San Francisco train driver allegedly falls asleep. Yes. Also, we got to talk about a story I did that happened in Philadelphia where a man was dressing as a Chucky mask, scaring the pretty people, the pretty females in the distance of Philadelphia around 5 in the morning, whatnot. Didn't have anything else better to do. He was caught. You won't guess where he was caught at. And also, we got to talk about Montana. The Mountain West states, they are under a crisis. Okay. We got to talk about Montana. So all those things over the night, over here, the night audit. Again, make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. Let me turn on my banner and let's get to the first story.
A reality star will remain behind bars after a judge denied her request for a bond. The Love and Hip Hop star is accused of sexually assaulting a child.
Okay, let me stop it for a second. Not the lady who's on trial right now, but the news anchor. Shout out to you. You look wonderful.
In court, we heard from the victim's family and details from investigators about what happened inside of a Hapeville hotel.
Upon arriving to the 5th floor, they observed a female exiting he stated that while she was in the lobby, a tall black male approached her, told her that she was cute.
A Fulton County prosecutor detailed the moments officers arrived at this Embassy Suites on International Boulevard in Hapeville earlier this month. As Sydney Favors, known on social media and reality television as S1E Star, watched in her jail jumpsuit.
Favors admitted that the juvenile had entered the elevator with her and went into her room. The allegation is that they engaged in sexual contact.
Prosecutors say the victim is 13 years old. Officers arrested Favors at the hotel. She's facing charges of sodomy, sexual battery of a child, and aggravated child molestation. The victim's mother, through a statement read in court, explained the impact on her son.
He is in the process to what was done to him.
Star is known for roles on Love and Hip Hop and Baddies ATL and has more than 487,000 followers on Instagram, which was brought up at the hearing.
We do believe that the defendant is at risk of intimidation as they are large social media and television presence.
Ultimately, the judge agreed with prosecutors.
At this time, the defendant will remain in a mail bond status.
Star is from Chicago and only has one prior traffic citation, but the judge found her lack of ties to Atlanta makes her a flight risk.
Okay, let me do a more digging on that beat. First of all, I'm gonna need you news reporters to fix your audio. Okay, fix the audio. Because I couldn't really hear the audio in the courtroom was a little, it was talking, but it was like, and I'm like, what? Trying to get up on it or whatnot. Again, she looks gorgeous. Let's give her a hand clap. Okay, listen, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm a guy, man. Listen, I'm a respectable man. Listen, I'm not out here doing no crazy stuff. Yes, Lord. Yes. But anyway, okay, so let me unpackage this. Okay, so let me go look up the article. Let me see what I can find and whatnot. Because I don't watch reality shows. I'm like that J. Cole song. I came from an era where road rules, the Love and Hip Hop, again, with Hoops and Flavor Flav and New York and all of them. Let me figure out what the hell is going on here. Okay. S1E Star Favors arrested in Fulton County over child sex assault allegations. Now, to mind you, these are allegations, okay? Reality personality Starr was arrested in Hateville, Georgia, as they said, after officers responded to a report of sexual assault involving a 13-year-old boy at the Embassy Suites on International Boulevard. She was taken into custody and booked into the Fulton County Jail, where she remains in custody without bond. So the charges and the allegations, right? So this was actually 3 weeks. She got arrested 3 weeks ago. Oh man, so this is another update. Okay. As of August 25th, which was 2 days ago, I just recording this video. She was denied bond. They told her that she poses a flight risk. They cite the seriousness and the heinousness of the alleged crimes. She resides in Chicago with limited local connections, her large social media, TV presence, or television presence, which could use to intimidate witnesses or the victim. Now, her defense argues she has no prior criminal history beyond traffic violations, has never missed a court appearance, cooperated with police. They notice she resides with her mother and has friends and family in Georgia. The child's mother testifies, we heard, saying her son is suffering from emotional, psychological harm and is undergoing intensive therapy, urging the judge to deny bond or impose strict monitoring if release were allowed. Now, the current status, as we know, like I said, she's still in custody without bond. I think she's supposed to make a court appearance in September or whatnot. So there's no additional details of the alleged victim or full circumstances have been released to law enforcement to protect the minor. Okay. Now, I'm a square, okay? I'm a square dude. You might not most be like, Trash, you're not a square dude. Listen, okay. How do we unpack this? We know the who, we know the where, we know the who, what, when, and where, but why did the Fulton County law enforcement upgrade the investigation to an issue in the arrest warrant? Because I guess whatever they probably saw on camera. Now, the thing about it is, we don't know what went on in the room. Now, it's bad enough the 13-year-old said the 13-year-old boy, said the 13-year-old boy found in the room. Okay. But let me get up on this story a little bit more because, again, the audio was terrible. Okay, I'm reading that. In a statement read to the court, the alleged victim's mother asked the judge to deny. Okay, yep. At this age, when he should feel safe and protected, he is now forced to cope with trauma that no child should have has ever. Oh, okay. According to her arrest warrants, the 37-year-old Favors allegedly confessed to performing oral sex on a boy at the hotel, saying the act was consensual. In court, Favors' attorney claimed the child approached her, not the other way around. Okay, Favors is a transgender model known for her appearances on several reality shows filmed in Atlanta, including Atlanta Plastic, Baddies, ATL. She also started in Love and Hip Hop New York in one episode of the hit series Empire. This story is developing. Oh my God. Can I get a moment? Let me play my church music. Let me play the. I just got off a call, a meeting with Jason Wilson, and we was talking about sexual control and sexual sin. And I know these are allegations, right? And again, what the hell we got going on here? Now, I thought the woman was a woman, but apparently she's transgender. Again, not gonna rob nobody of their humanity, right? You choose to be whatever it is you choose to be. Doesn't necessarily mean that people like us, we gotta agree with it, right? But it's bad. That's one thing. You're allegedly doing bad. You're associated with bad, and you're allegedly doing something bad. I know this stuff got to play out, so we gonna have to get to the bottom. They're gonna have to find out what went down. I don't know. She's saying, listen, Sydney Starr is saying, or Favors is saying that they were approached, that she was approached. Okay. All right. I'm trying to be listen, they was approached and she not the way around. Now, there are cameras in the hotel, right? But somehow, some way, the 13-year-old was lured. Okay. Now, the allegations, they are egregious. Okay. They are egregious. And of course, we got to do a better job, and we got to keep doing a better job to protect our kids. We got to do a better job to protect our youth. Somehow, some way, this 13-year-old boy, and I don't have no pictures. Let me see if we can find some pictures or whatnot, because again, this is how this is how it's looking in the courtroom. And her face went down like, I can't get no down, man. Now, you go looking like this to, I don't know what. I'm just trying to take my time here, people. I ain't know I was really walking this. Now, again, you go from looking like, let me blow this up. Let me maximize this. You go from looking like presenting this, right? Right? Boobs out, everything, right? I don't know these days, y'all. I don't know what. Listen, I just say be careful. To looking like, where's she at? This. What is going on? What is happening here? Okay. How did you put yourself in this situation? How did the 13-year-old listen? By now, listen, the 13-year-old apparently, listen, it's Atlanta. I'm not saying listen. By now, listen, most 13-year-olds know what a woman looks like. And social media is so prevalent. Access to porn and adult sites is very prevalent. Okay. It's very prevalent. He probably do online gaming as well, right? So chances are, listen, regardless who did what, you was the 30s, you are the adult in the situation. And then one, like, how, and for the mother, for the mother, like, where was you? I'm thinking now, because I'm just trying to think of a number of things. Okay, was you eating, or he just roaming around the hotel, whatever the case may be? How did he get lured in a room with allegedly get lured in a room, and because she did say she allegedly confessed having oral, and it was consensual. So the 13-year-old boy was like, yeah. And then you come in there and say he's suffering psychological damage. He got to go intense therapy or whatnot, so on and so forth. It wasn't no therapy. Again, listen. Two things. Listen, two sides of the same coin. He going through a lot of therapy, but and it's unfortunate that, listen, they teaching they should be teaching sex education in school anyway. He knew what was going on. This wasn't his first time. I don't know. The 13-year-old was tall. We don't know, because they're not releasing anything because of minor. We don't know. He could be looking like a Roman. We don't know. Now he got to go through all this intense therapy, psychological. Nah, he knew what he was doing. He knew what he got himself into. Now he's not in trouble. She is, right? I'm just saying that even though the victim, he's the victim, the victim is but it's just like, you trying to tell us, oh, he's going through immense therapy at his age. woman. Listen, let me show who the mother. I ain't trying to listen. Where the mother at? There's the mother. Cause most of y'all mothers are not great at watching your kids. You're not great at keeping up with your kid. You know what I'm saying? The 13-year-old more like he got a cell phone. He probably got a cell phone. Again, got internet service to it, so he got access. So he's around his friends, going on the stuff that he's going on to. Right? Okay. Because I know you're trying to paint the boy as he's innocent. I mean, yes, in that sense, but most of them be into stuff, and he's just a formality. Now, again, Miss Favors, I don't know what the hell she was thinking. And these allegations are true. Oh my God. But like, you can't put yourself again over here. You audit life before you life audits before. You gotta think it through. 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 You can't let your intrusive. You cannot be always acting on your intrusive thoughts. And the 13-year-old saw this. This is who the 13-year-old saw. He saw all of. He probably, and then like I said, most of them got Instagram, right? So he knew who this woman was. Listen. He had to listen. He saw. I'm going back to the pictures again, right? I mean, he saw that. He saw all of that. You ain't monitoring what your children looking at, with your 13-year-old chicken, the one that got to go through immense psychological thing. Again, if it allegedly happened, it happened. And he can't take that. That ain't gonna go. It is what it is. It's bad, but he ain't gonna get in trouble. What you gonna hold him? The intense therapy. Listen, this is what we saw. Now I don't know. Again, who approached who? Either which way, it shouldn't even went down. And I know that because he's 13. Oh my God. I ain't gonna tell you, my mom, I ain't gonna say nothing. Sydney, you should not have done this. What possessed you to do this? What possessed you to do this? Because I can't, like, the life of me. The transgender part is already crazy as it is. That's what it said. And this, let me share my screen with y'all so y'all won't think I'm making this up. Okay. Let me share my screen with y'all. I'm going to show y'all this article, this news article right here on the Atlanta First News. Because I was like, Favors is a transgender model known for her appearances in several reality shows filmed, in episodes of The Empire. Now, I'm not, again, her choice to be, I'm not going to beat them up because of that. I'm not going to, I disagree with that. That's bad. Listen, that's what I'm saying. All this is crazy, whatnot. But either which way, you as the adult, you should not put yourself in this position at all. At all. And she said she allegedly confessed to performing sexual or oral sex on the boy at the hotel, saying the act was consensual. So she admitted it. Let me stop sharing my screen. So she admitted it. Doesn't make it. Listen. Not style points. I can't say style points. Listen. A for being honest, right? You said this happens, right? But why did you do that? Why did you allegedly do that? Even if you say you wasn't approached, right? You wasn't approached, but you still wind up allegedly confessing that you did it. This is bizarre. This is a very bizarre story. And then the 13-year-old, they got to go through all the psychological therapy, immense therapy. That's a story in itself. But why would you like, oh yeah, I did it, but he approached me. It don't matter. Like, why did you do that? It don't matter? Listen, Batman would be baffled if Batman was chasing after you. Batman will be baffled. Batman will be baffled. He'll be baffled. Him and Alfred will be going like, he'll be like, Master Bruce. It doesn't add up. It's bad, but it doesn't add up. Yo, I don't know, Alfred. This is crazy. I don't know why she allegedly did it, confess, but she said she was not approached, but she did it, allegedly did it anyway. You did it anyway. You did it anyway. You did it anyway. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Man. That's like, I'm trying to see if I can think of something real quick because I yield my time to this. I'm gonna move on to the next story. I don't know. It's if somebody, it's like you punch somebody, you allegedly punch somebody, right? And you allegedly admitted to confess that you got into a fight with them. They didn't do anything, but they approach you. Approaching someone don't mean you have to fight them. Now I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to, my analogy should make more sense than what she said, what she admitted. Again, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments with this story, whatnot, because I yield my time to this. This is insane. We got to move on to the next story. We got to head over to Las Vegas because the creepy man with the Chucky mask that was terrorizing the citizens of Philadelphia on the streets and around like 5 a.m. in the morning while everybody's getting their coffee and bagel and doing their jogs and doing their runs and whatnot. He was caught in Las Vegas. I'm going to take y'all to that story right now. Oh, I need to change it up.
We begin at 10 with breaking news in Philadelphia. The nationwide manhunt is over. U.S. Marshals capturing the man accused of terrorizing several people in Center City while wearing a creepy mask. This is the news at 10. I'm Sheba Russell.
First of all, again, these news anchors are on point tonight.
This news coming just 5 days after Philadelphia police identified the suspect and issued an arrest warrant. Let's get right out to our Shawnette Wilson with more. First off, Shawnette, where was he captured?
So, Sheba, officials say that he was captured in Las Vegas and that they had been doing days and days of surveillance before tracking him down. Officials tonight saying that the fear that Zamir Hughes put on this community is now over. So as we take a look at this unforgettable video that we showed you recently, we know that he was wanted. As Sheba just mentioned, he was wearing this Halloween-style face mask and basically chasing and terrorizing people. The video that we were showing was from a woman that he was chasing behind near 15th and Locust around City Hall. Investigators say while he was doing that, he was asking the victim, was she ready to die? This victim, we know, suffered some injuries while trying to get away. And so they say that this was just one incident of many that had happened over the past month, they say, that Zamir Hughes is responsible for. Investigators spoke just minutes ago. Let's listen to details about what they say about his capture.
Through our investigation, we determined Zamir Hughes had been a Las Vegas resident since February. He fled Philadelphia on August 19th from Trenton Mercer Airport in Ewing, New Jersey to Orlando International. He then flew from Orlando to Harry Reid International in Las Vegas. After being profiled on the news August 28th, he changed his location in Las Vegas and hid at an apartment complex in Southeast Las Vegas for the past 5 days. Marshals from the Nevada Task Force established surveillance on the suspected apartment complex today, and at 8 p.m., Hughes was arrested without incident.
All right, so back here live, Sheba, just for clarity, you heard them say that he was arrested in Vegas where he had been a resident since February. Investigators say he had a license there. They say that he has family or relatives here in Philadelphia, and they believe that he may have been visiting them while he was doing this horrific behavior, terrorizing people. They do believe that once he realized that he was wanted, he fled there. They say he has a girlfriend in Vegas and that some associates there then moved him, presumably from the girlfriend girlfriend's house to another location, which is that apartment that they were able to track him down. Interesting enough, they say that when they took him into custody, Sheba, he was asking, what is this about? Like, he was acting like he had no idea. They also said that he tried to get away, tried to get out of cuffs, and obviously they were able to prevent that from happening. Motive behind this, still unknown. He's awaiting extradition and he will face charges back here once that all happens. They have not found the mask.
All right. Still a strange story, even as you're detailing how he was caught and the fact that he didn't know why he was being sought after. So I'm sure more details to come on this one. Shawnette, thank you.
Shout out to Sheba and Shawnette with that beautiful reporting on this story. Listen, I covered this story, I believe it was last Thursday. My episode is out. It's titled, Let's See If You Can Fight, because there's a woman, her name is Jamaica, and she was trying to wave and get somebody to give another woman's attention and whatnot. She got to get his attention. Then he tried to approach her, and then he was all like dazed and confused. He was like, oh my God, what's going on? And then she was like, you know what? Let me see if you can fight. And then she did her little kick move. She said, pow, kicked right in the chest. And he took off running. I did 3 stories that night, and that was the 3rd story of the night. And I had my TV on. I was working on some stuff Saturday, and I think it was Saturday or Sunday, and the police chief, they did a press conference, and it was very adamant about catching this man. It was very, 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 very adamant they was gonna catch this man. Yeah, this happened because I think this happened Wednesday, Tuesday night, one of the two. But yeah, they were very adamant. I don't know the reason why. I don't know. Listen, I don't know what the motive behind this either. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me put my notes back up. I don't know what the issue was. And I don't know, number of theories, man. Listen, look how you look. Look how you look. 22 years old. That's how you look. Out here terrorizing the citizens of Philadelphia. Now, I'm not saying, he looks awkward, he looks weird, or anything like that, but we got to ask the why. Okay, there's 1,000 whys going to my mind. Like, why would you? Because listen, Halloween isn't but 2 months away. Listen, was it August 27th? Okay, they already putting up Halloween stuff anyway in most stores, whatnot. I went in Kroger's the other day, and it's out and about, right? But my man's Zamir, I'm sorry. What the hell you was thinking? What was you doing? And then you go fleeing, right? You become a fugitive. So you go waste our taxpayer dollars. And then when they found you or whatnot, the people over there trying to hide you, whatever, trying to move you around, whatever, and all that. So there might be additional charges for that. Harboring a fugitive. I don't think it's worth it. Right? What's so precious about him? I'm not saying his life ain't worth saving. Just saying what's so precious about him? He did something stupid. Why y'all getting yourselves caught up in his own stupidity? Stupidity. Why y'all? Because I did a story with a lady in Florida. She killed some man and some man from Niceville, Florida. And it was like a 45-day manhunt, and they finally captured her or whatnot. And I was just like insane. She killed him and left his body in some kind of makeshift grave somewhere. And it was just awful. Y'all do crime the crimes be so like, if it was a prank, I mean, well, okay, all right. If you had a video, now it's not good, okay, because you obviously got kicked in the chest. Somebody could have pulled out a gun and just shot you in the chest. Okay. So I don't know. Nobody didn't have the thought to where, somebody, maybe you just didn't, you didn't run up on the right person. You may have caught people on an off day. They were off that day, but my God, why are you running around with a Chucky mask on? And why the folks in Nevada, some of the friends and family over there, why y'all protecting the man? Listen, this is why I can't stand about the culture, the community. You protect the worst among us. Oh, and you want to tell us, oh, he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad person. Bullshit. I know it's starting, Friday. I kind of get it crunk up, but starting a little bit early. Horse manure. Okay. Okay. Oh, this was innocent. No. You run around chasing people tomorrow. Do you want to die? Are you ready to die? There's nothing normal about that. Okay. There's nothing innocent about that. There is nothing playful about that at all. Do that amongst your friends group. Why you gotta go around terrorizing the citizens of Philadelphia and you're not even from there? Why did you not do that in Las Vegas? Why do you gotta go do that in Philadelphia? You got the police chief, the police commissioner. He had a blood. I was literally sitting here. I had my TV on and I was listening. I was laughing because I was like, I did the story. I said, oh my God, I did this story. Oh man. And I was like, when I saw this on the feed, I said, I gotta do a story. I gotta follow up on this. Cause I knew the name. I knew what the name was. I don't think a picture was shown, but I knew the name. But and then you want to go like, whoa, what's this all about? He cut his hair too. Let me see in his picture. Yeah, man, let me blow this up. Yeah, my man tried to give himself a fade. He tried to listen. He tried to give himself a little fro, give him what is that? Like, I know football season coming up. He tried to trim his hairline like a football field. Then you try to get out of arrest. Listen, Marshals, man. I did a story about the Marshals, man, with the person they try to find and the 9 U.S. Marshal officers that fell through the roof, the deck. I did a story on that as well. Listen, the U.S. Marshals don't play. They will find you. Okay. You better ask what's the actor's name. You ask Wesley Snipes, Harrison Ford, and or Tommy Lee Jones. Listen, they will come and find you. They will come after you. This is insane. Insane. I'm glad they caught this man. Okay, glad get him over there to face whatever penalties he's gonna be faced or whatnot. He's gonna be out. Way the justice system would work, but we'll see. Because he was the guy in the press conference. He was talking a lot of. He was talking tough. Not the guy in this video, but the original one I was watching on TV. I said, I'll hold you to it, sir. I don't live there, but I'll hold you to it. I hope you give this man the justice he deserves. All right. Yield my time on that. And y'all let me know what y'all think of this story, whatnot. And then y'all in Philadelphia was following this story. And if y'all knew anybody that was affected by this, let us know over here tonight, audit. We got to move on to the next story because we got more stupid happening. We got a San Francisco train operator that allegedly fell asleep while operating a vehicle, while operating a transit system or locomotive. You know what I mean. All right, let's get over there to it. Let me change my banner. There we go. And let's get to it. Oh man. Like he want to scratch his balls. Oh, let me fix this up. Oh, snap. Oh man, what the? Oh man, your whole day. Oh man, listen. If that happened, listen. Not only my week is done, cancel Christmas, cancel Thanksgiving, New Year's. That's it. Oh man. I don't think he was quite ready for work today. Shirt ain't iron. Wait, is his shirt? Hold on. I know this is serious. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. This is man. Nah, while I was making his back of his shirt looked like it was half ripped. So he didn't have his best uniform on that day either. Let me see, because I think there is a story. Like there's a, let me see if I can help. That man, listen, that will be it, man. That would be it. That would be it, man. Okay, so this happened on July 31st. And if anybody in San Francisco probably know where I'm about it. That's 47th Avenue and Wallawan Street, street north of San Francisco Zoo. 2 passengers were aboard the train at the time of the crash, but no injuries were reported. Thank God. It says footage showed the driver scratching his head, then his hands falling to his side and appearing to nod off about 20 seconds. Y'all know 20 seconds is a lifetime. Especially, listen, it's a lifetime before being jolted awake when the train collided with an oncoming train. The impact shattered the front windshield, as you all saw in the video. Now, the official response from the San Francisco MTA, the initial determination is that the crash was caused by operator error due to fatigue. Vehicle and infrastructure issues have been ruled out. Safety concerns. The director, her name is Julie, was it Cashbon? I'm sorry, if I'm mispronouncing the name wrong. Called the incident simply unacceptable and emphasized that safety of passengers and operators is the agency's top priority. Now, as of his status, the driver has been placed on non-driving status while the investigation continues. So, broader context, this is not the first time that a operator has been seen dozing off at the wheel. Actually, September of last year, a train operator fell asleep while traveling at 50 miles per hour, jolting passengers and nearly hitting a car. The San Francisco MTA conducted it is caused by operator fatigue. So what the hell's going on? Like y'all, and launched fatigue awareness campaign afterwards. The formal investigation into the July 31st crash is still underway, and the MTA board there will take appropriate actions on final findings. But what is going on? What is going on, man? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? Put me back on the listen. What is going on? What is happening? If you listen, my man don't look like he was ready for work today. He doesn't. It didn't look like he. He don't like he really like. He got the drunk collards, up partying all night. You know you got a real job. Okay, you got a real important job that is, I will assume that is state funded, so taxpayer paying it. So your job is to be able to safely operate a train, right, with passengers. You have the lives of whoever passengers that is on your vessel or vehicle in your hands. Like, I don't know. He scratched his balls or something like that, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. This man was not dressed for success today. On July 31st, he was not dressed for success. He wasn't. He was not ready. He was not ready. The world was ready, but he was not ready for it. And you got to understand, listen, I know I tell people all the time, when you work certain jobs, you got a real job, right? You can't be up to 2 a.m, right? You got to be work by 7:30. In some cases, you got to be work by 6:30 because to get ready for 7:30. So you got to be up by 5:30, right? You can't be out partying with the huzz. You can't be out. Can't be DJing it. You know this was your shift, right? This July 31st. What was July 31st? July 31st was a Friday. It was a Friday. It was a Friday. It was a Friday, man. And it might be your Friday, right? So you had your Friday the night before. I don't know. He could be going through a custody battle. He could be issues in the marriage, home with the missus, something going on with the missus, or it could be some family stuff. But regardless, man, you're responsible to yourself first, right? When you get behind the wheel of that, you are responsible not only just for this, but you operating that machinery and the people that get on that onto that train system. Okay. If you was not up for that day, then you should have just stayed home. You should have called in. Thankfully, he didn't get hurt. And nobody, the passengers that was on board, they didn't get hurt. But they had a safety fatigue awareness campaign last year. Where were you? Did you take the classes? Did you sign up for it? I get it, fatigue, but you gotta know, you gotta listen to your body. And I don't know, he could listen, whatever he could be trying to work, but regardless, listen, you gotta give yourself a rest. This job ain't going nowhere. The train operator job is not going anywhere. Okay. You can always find your new job, but what you can't do, you only get one of these. You only get one life. And you can't be endangering yourself and others. Okay. You cannot be endangering yourself. And I don't know, man. And also, I'm pretty sure they probably have, I don't know, they have some kind of sensory or something like that to kind of some computer monitoring system to say, okay, fatigue, driver is unalert. We don't know, right? I would think they should have something on there that, like a dead man switch or something like that, where the train stops, right? It automatically stops. Or noticing that the operator isn't really responsive to any command or any type of commands or visibility or whatnot, and could have just stopped completely. But regardless of that, they have to fix all that. There's something they got to audit. They got to take an audit of, right? They got to do a root cause analysis. Ooh, look at that. Using them Six Sigma project management words. You got to use a root cause analysis, right? You got to, because the who, what, when, and where, and why. You got to do the breakdown, right? The failure analysis, and it's trying to ensure that this doesn't happen again. Now, it doesn't seem like it happens a lot, but even if something don't happen a lot, but given what the nature of given the nature what it is, one train crash is one too many. That's almost like a plane going down. One plane is one too many. That's why you don't see a whole lot of planes going down. Because it's now, listen, one plane, whether it's a private plane, commercial plane, any kind of plane. Listen, one plane is enough. One train is enough. But my man, I would just say, just be careful. Be aware. Be careful. And if you are sleepy, if you are running on short rests, don't even show up. Get some rest. Or maybe have a backup driver, maybe have a backup operator or something like that. Maybe maybe do 2 hours or so and get up out of there, or have a backup driver. Or just simply don't, I keep on saying, just simply don't show up to work. Don't show up to work today. Call off, come back, do it all over again. We'll see you when you get back here. This is insane. Okay, but thankfully nobody didn't get hurt and everybody's okay. Everybody's well, and that he learns his lesson from this, and whatever comes to his job, I'm not trying to call for something like this can put your job at risk. I'm not here to try to advocate for losing his job, but this is something that can really, really put your job at risk, because people can sue. People can also come out and try to sue and all that stuff like that. So you got to be extra careful, head on the swivel as much as you can. All right, we got to move on to the last story. We got to go over to Montana. Yeah, we got a crazy story that happened in Montana. I want to visit Montana, but we got to cover it. So here we go.
Situation unfolding in Billings, where recovery efforts continue in a West End neighborhood following a shooting and a house fire. And new tonight at 6 o'clock, the Associated Press is reporting the shooter's identity as 44-year-old Alan Smith. Smith allegedly killed 8 relatives, including 4 children, at a Sunday evening dinner. Here's what it looked like at the scene. Several law enforcement units responding here. Investigators say the incident began as a family disturbance.
I seen a little bit of this on X.
Police shared a timeline of events. Billings 911 received a call at about 6:01 p.m. for an active shooter at 315 White Star Circle. During the call, 911 operators could hear gunfire in the background. At 6:12 p.m., law enforcement arrived to the scene. Officials report they could hear gunfire at the back of the residence as they arrived. 3 minutes later, at 6:15 p.m., those on scene spotted smoke coming from the house, with flames later fully engulfing the home. By 6:48 p.m., officials say the suspect was accounted for and transported to a local hospital, where he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The Billings fire chief says firefighters were unable to operate normally until the scene with the active shooter was fully secured. Because of this, the fire chief says the victims inside the home could not be pulled out of the fire.
The delay in limited access presented significant challenges. Fire conditions continued to worsen, and the residence ultimately became heavily involved and was consumed by fire.
The public is asked to avoid the area since evidence collection will take several days. NBC Montana will continue to follow this and bring you the latest on air and online.
First of all, prayers up to the family. Deepest prayers and condolences to these people, right? To the families that were affected with this. Because I saw this and I was just like, what in the hell is going on? What is happening? Okay. Because I seen this is the scene I saw on X. I saw officers about kind of pinned behind the car because I know the act. I was like, what the hell's going on? Let me get some more story on it, and I'll give you. Listen, let me get some full more context. Let me just get some more context. Insane. Nothing ever really happens in Montana. Dang, it's almost like Idaho. I know they got their own troubles. I know they got their own fixtures or something else. Montana family, 8 people killed in Okay. So a horrific shooting and house fire in Billings, Montana, which is the capital, which I believe Billings is the capital of Montana, left 8 people dead. I don't know. I mean, and I could be, I can check it later. Good fact. But anyway, left 8 people dead, including 4 children. Not that children, man. At a family home on this past Sunday on the 23rd. What happened? Police said the incident began during a Sunday dinner, which they said in the video, at a home outside of Billings city limits. The victims represented four generations of a blended family with ages ranging from 7 to 92. The family member who identified the shooter, Brad Ireland, said the gunman was 44-year-old Alan Smith, who had been told to move out weeks early but returned the night of the shooting. Authorities responded to a 911 call of an active shooting event around 6 p.m. like they said in the video. I'm just running through it again, right, to get the full picture. Hearing gunfire, finding the home already engulfed in flames. Smith was found with a a gunshot wound to the head, right? He later died at the hospital. Amongst the victims, his ex-wife, right? The 2 children, and the ex-wife, she had stepchildren from a previous relationship, and Smith's parents were also killed. Oh man, this is insane. This is insane. He killed his parents. Looks like the youngest sister, her name is Charlotte, was described by the victim as a hero who tried to save her family, which was a 12-year-old of the 12-year-old. This was a 4,000 square feet home was set on fire and burned to its foundation. Wow. The subdivision lacked fire hydrants. Whoa. Forcing firefighters to haul water and set up a temporary tank. The blaze was extinguished around 1 a.m. the next morning, but the destruction made evidence recovery difficult. Yellowstone County Sheriff Kent O'Donnell said multiple fires were suspected inside the home, and investigators are working through the rubble to ensure all victims are accounted for. Oh my God. Billings police and local officials have extended condolences to family and acknowledging the tragedy's impact and challenges of the investigation. Authorities have asked the public to avoid the scene as they continue to work. This case is being treated as a family disturbance and no motive yet. Yeah. There's a 911 call. I will listen to it myself afterwards. I won't. There is the family. Let me see. This is because you got to remember the victims. Okay, listen, we don't want to give the suspect any more credit than he's got to answer for this. You don't get out of this. You don't get out of this alive, buddy. So this is the family. This is the siblings, and this is his ex-wife. This is the wife, and this is the brother who sadly died. And Charlotte, I think Charlotte's on the left. This is Oh man. No. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, nobody. I'm sorry. Oh, nobody. My apologies. All of them was killed. I'm sorry. It just made I read a little bit different. She was trying to save her family. So the Charlotte 12-year-old was trying to save her family. Man, this is the second story I covered. It's the second story I covered. The first one was in Michigan. I think it's Ottawa, Michigan. Kind of, I think, the northern tip of Michigan. Because somebody commented on my video and saying, "Hey," I said, "Dang," they was surprised. It was like nothing. I drive over there all the time. I think they try it as a nice area because even with the pictures, it's like a nice, beautiful neighborhood. And they say nothing really ever happens out there. I don't know what is happening, but first of all, I believe, and this kind of comes back to the story because also there was a story. I'm sorry, I know this is the multiverse here, because this story like this is I'm trying to get it all together, right? It's the last story of the night. People are dealing with a lot of things because see, the guy that happened in Michigan, I think I don't know, like he shot everybody, and then I guess he lit small fires, and then guess he lit the final fire, and then he took himself out. He left no note as well. White people they're struggling trying to keep their families together. They're struggling with drugs. They're struggling with poverty, family issues, all types of issues, right? And they're taking out the whole family without no notes at all. Okay. So the men, like I already said, men, I don't know what is happening, what is going on, what is on our listen, we are too emotional. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's to the point of because they were not together and whatever because again, like they had a Sunday dinner. He was asked to leave weeks ago, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna come back and take all y'all out." I'm going back to the story because it said it's a family disturbance. So They said this was 4 generations, a blended family, ranges from 7 to 92. Okay. So this was a beautiful home. This home, this was a nice home. Look at that. 4,000 square feet. Now it's crazy that to have lack of fire hydrants, whatnot. That's crazy. But 4,000, I can't begin to wrap my head around it. I cannot attempt to wrap my head around this. And I'm not saying all of you, I'm just saying that's a struggle that they are dealing with. That we have out in our community, the community at large. Listen, we got our struggles, right? But it shouldn't be to the point where you're taking out the whole entire family. That was a situation that happened in Louisiana where guy in Shreveport, Louisiana, took all of his kids out, shot the wife, and shot the other woman he was dealing with. They had a child with her. I don't know. I don't know if if the ex-wife went the husband, because you gotta understand she had children from a previous relationship, right? Had children from a previous marriage, and we're left to speculate because again, there was no note. Sorry, I gotta put my computer on charger. There was no note left. There was no note left. This is sad. This is sad. This is sad. This is sad. This is horrible. This is deplorable. That we're taking out our whole families over what? What are the reasons? What are the reasons? You ruin everybody. Now, whoever the surviving relatives that are still alive, right? The surviving relatives that are still alive, you ruin their lives for, okay. Even Batman is baffled by this. Maybe he got an answer for it. I don't have an answer. I got a bunch of answers, but I can't land. I'm trying to find one to land on and saying, what was the reason? Family disturbance. They asked you to leave the home. What drive you to come back to shoot everybody up and set the house on fire and then shoot yourself in the process? So you couldn't even live to see, you couldn't even live to face the actions of your crimes. You was that ashamed. You were so ashamed that you could not face, because Brad Ireland is the previous husband or the current. I don't know if she had remarried him. I don't know what the hell to make of this. The family member who identified the shooter, Brad Ireland, he was asked to leave the house. He was asked to move out weeks early. So maybe a fight ensued, maybe more likely physical altercations, arguments have happened, threats has been made, and my man execute Order 66 in the worst possible way. In the worst possible way. In the worst kind of way you can think of. Worst possible way. I don't know what to say. I know that Ireland, maybe she remarried. She probably went back to her previous. Oh no, she probably did. She probably remarried. More likely not, she did. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying that. Because we don't know the first. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. His ex-wife, that's Brad's Ireland's ex-wife. Sorry. His ex-wife. So Alan Smith. Who was Alan Smith? Who was Alan Smith? This is insane. Let me go over here. Let me see if I can find something else. This is horrible. The number seems the magic number is 8. People say, you know what? 8. He killed his grandmother. Alan Smith killed his grandmother, his parents, as I see, and his youngest sister and her children. Wow. Wow stuff here, man. Now I'm putting it all. I'm looking at another article, just kind of getting more. Okay, police had no prior contact to the shooter. The attack happened at the Smith home. Diana Smith, who was retired from the Air Force, and Bowen, and Bart Smith, a retired teacher. The Smith family was originally from the Seattle area. Brad, Ireland, the family of Owen and Chloe, said that after he and Megan divorced 6 years ago, she moved to Montana with their children. That's when she met the man who would become her second husband, Adam. I can't pronounce the last name. Who worked when the shooting? Who was at work when the shooting occurred? Wow. Okay, now I got it. Okay. Because the husband, yeah, wow. Her parents soon followed to Billings, buying a home near the daughter and her brother move in. Police had not been called to the home before and had no previous contact with Alan Smith, the sheriff said. Wow. Megan, who worked in healthcare, Mercer said the 8th victim was Diana's mother, Evelyn Smith, 92, who used a wheelchair and lived in a nearby retirement community. Wow, man. Arriving officers heard shots and saw smoke. Smith showed up in the neighborhood at 5:49 p.m. Sunday. O'Donnell said after 6 p.m. that, yeah, so it's kind of, oh, wow. It's the 12-year-old, her daughter, she made the call. She made the call to 911. It says, but Mercer identified the caller as 12-year-old Charlotte, saying she was trying to save her family. The first arriving officers confronted Smith. He ran back inside. The officers heard gunfire and saw smoke in the home. O'Donnell said Smith then ran into the backyard, shot himself, and authorities said home was quick. Yeah. Wow, man. This is whoa. It says Brad Ireland describes Smith as a hermit who spent most of his days on the computer. There were many red flags and many people spoke out. He told the Associated Press Tuesday, no one listened. Alan Smith had attended Eastern Washington University, but had not been able to find or hold a job, Ireland said. This is bizarre. This is, whoa. Man, oh man. My condolences to Brad Ireland. I don't know the guy, you know what I'm saying? Just his husband, that gotta be tough, man. That's that. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap this one up, y'all. Wow, I yield my time to this. I try to read as much up on it and try to give as much clear context on it. You guys can check it out as well. Check the story out more for yourself as well. Try to make sure that it wasn't as confusing, because at first I didn't know who was who, and then I figured out, oh wow. So yeah, man. Woo. Make sure you all hold your loved ones. Say, hug your loved ones and tell them you love you. You tell them you love them. And yeah. And send up a prayer and keep this family and your thoughts and prayers. But that's it for the night audit. I'm your host, Chaze Barnes. If you have not done so, hit a like button, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. If you have not subscribed, turn on notifications. Let me do one thing. And I'm gonna get up out of here. I will catch you all in the next one. Love you all. Peace. Make sure you audit life before life audits before you. I'm out.